In this latest episode of Cambriea and Bobby, this episode contains adult situations. Parental guidance is suggested.
Well, maybe it was fate when you walked in the door. I could have sworn I've seen your face before. So glad that you said hi, 'cause I was way too shy. What would have happened if you just had passed me by the night? We keep on drinking, keep on wishing.
Today's video is a little bit different than what we normally do, but I feel like it is a very important subject to speak on. We have been going through a lot in our family, and I know I've talked a little bit here and there about how things have been stressful and stuff like that, but I have not gone into detail just out of not wanting to, I don't even know what to say it, like, even when we're being like very much attacked, I don't want to turn around and do the same thing to the people that are doing it to us. But we did want to kind of share, because we know there's going to be questions out there and everything. So I am going to share just some screenshots to give you guys some idea of what we've been going through these past couple of months and how our life has kind of been turned upside down in a way that is very sad, because we know it's family that has caused a lot of this, and in my heart, family doesn't treat family like that. Oh yes, today's video is a little bit harder of a video, but a very, very important subject to talk about. So I'm going to share some screenshots with you guys, and then we're going to jump more into the video, which will go more into where our decision has come from. And yeah, just a trigger warning, this video isn't probably appropriate for littles. It does talk about more subjects that can be uncomfortable. So yes, we know who this family member is, and that's not the only situation. Like I said, those are just small glimpses into our life the past 2 months of being just attacked. And if you guys, because I always get the questions of with Bobby having these different physical issues, why he does so much, and a lot of times it is to mentally get away. Like, him staying busy is so good for him. I know I often have people telling me, like, Cambriea, slow down, stop doing this. Bobby needs to take a break. And we know Bobby's staying busy, even to a point of sometimes where he's physically hurting himself. It keeps him out of his head. And some of you, when I say that, are going to get it. And I know some people are not. But those who get it, get it. It keeps him out of his head. So, yeah, we're going to jump into the rest of this. But I did want to give a little bit of a disclaimer of where this is all coming from, because I feel like it can be a big shock, because obviously I don't say everything that happens in our life, because this is social media. Like, we don't share everything. And there's so much more that happens behind the scenes. And sadly, this is a situation that is very heartbreaking and sad. And it hurts even more that this is being caused by family. A lot of things we can get over when it's said strangers on the internet. But when we have family members attacking us on a daily basis, it's caused a lot of issues.
So in today's episode, it's a very serious episode. I ain't gonna say an exciting new episode from Cambriea and Bobby, because it's not super exciting. It's very serious. So may be wondering where I've been the last couple days. We had the baby, Cambrea's baby video of what not to buy, and for expecting new mothers, and what she won't be buying as a 4-time expecting mother. But today's episode is a very serious subject. It's about depression, anxiety, and suicide. So if this is something that is going to be a tearjerker for you, or sensitive subject, just giving you fair warning. That's what this is about. And so we dig in. All right, let's go over some warning signs of depression and suicidal thoughts. On Monday, this is what was all going through my head. So I want to get rid of everything. Like, I don't want nothing. Nothing means anything to me anymore. I just want to get rid of it. So, example, my Camaro, which has been in my family for many, many years. And it's something that I do enjoy working on when I am working on it. But yeah, I was like, I just want to get rid of that. I want to get rid of all my other stuff and just have nothing. I don't want anything anymore. Being numb, not showing emotion, little to no interest in doing things. So me not actively working on stuff, and when, like showing affection, that's all stuff that, not out there, So I know Cambriea could tell something was wrong, because she could tell that I wasn't like physically engaging, obviously not smiling, like you can put on, a fake face and whatnot, just to, convince people, oh, no, I'm okay, I'm just tired or something. No, you can tell there's signs. So I know Cambriea could tell, 'cause she's like, how you doing? What's going on? What are you thinking? That's the biggest thing, is the question, what are you thinking? And yeah, she knew something was wrong. So, but yeah, getting rid of your stuff, little pleasure in doing things, not wanting to do anything. Sleeping a lot could be another sign. Those are the main things that I was doing. Or irritability, little things setting you off, little random things that normally would mean nothing, to you. But those things setting you off. It's really loud. So what I'm talking about here is, let's see, today's Friday. On Monday, I had a complete catastrophic mental breakdown. For those of you that have been following us, you know that I suffer from PTSD, anxiety, depression, and I don't know if all you knew, but also suicidal thoughts. May ask why. Why would you have suicidal thoughts, Bobby? You have a wife, 3 kids, expecting a kid, and a great house. You live in Florida, which is, in my opinion, the best state, but my opinion. But yeah, like, why would you even think about suicide? Well, over the years of being in the military, there's a lot of things you go through. Some, like my experience, may be nothing compared to other people's experience. But when you add all those experiences together, it can build, and there's certain things that can trigger a relapse in your mental state of mind. That's what happened to me. I was good for months. The last time I actually was in this state was back in 2021. It was really bad. This is to the point of where I was about to swallow a bottle of pills. The only reason I didn't is because Cambriea interrupted me. She caught me. So it's very serious. Very, very serious subject. There's a lot of compounding factors in that. But this latest deal, just been stuff over the past 2 months, just compounding on top of each other. And it all just came to a huge eruption on Monday. And I didn't want to live anymore. It's just all it was. It's just nothing mattered. And I still feel super numb right now. I was in a great spot. Months ago, I stopped taking my medication because I was in a great place. I felt really good. And didn't feel the need to be on medication because there is side effects to medication, and not having those side effects can make a huge difference in your daily life. But Monday, I had to go back on my medication. I actually had to double dose because it was bad. I was at a breaking point, and I didn't know what to do. Like, I knew I needed to take it, so I did. Kind of giving you a little bit of history on the last 2 months. There's just little stuff that was bothering me here and there. And then about 2 weeks ago, I could feel something was wrong. Like I could tell. Because leading up to that, I was noticing that I was getting more like emotional, and like little things would start me like watering my eyes, kind of like starting to cry. And I remember this from before when I had a break. So I knew something was wrong. Well, then I got kind of into a little argument, text messaging with my dad, and I just felt really, really bad. I'm like, something's wrong. So I called the Daytona Beach Vet Center, and I'm like, hey, I need to reconnect with a counselor. And I'm like, even if it's just a tune-up, I just need to talk to somebody. Maybe we can go over some things on how to handle the situation better. And so they're like, yeah, we got to give your information to our counselor. Obviously, you got to fill out some paperwork, because I haven't been to the vet center down here. I've been doing all my counseling through the VA while we've been in Florida. In Wisconsin, I went to the vet center, and it was great. My counselor was amazing. And that's why I was like, no, I'm doing good. The things that bothered me in Wisconsin, we cut out. So I got discharged from the military, stopped working at my job, and we cut all that stuff out, So then I was in a good space. And while we're in Florida, I was doing counseling through the VA. The problem with the VA is that you can only do so many sessions of counseling before you have to go and do like another step or something. So there's like, okay, well, we're gonna do 7 or 9 counseling sessions over a couple months. So it's like one session a month, which was fine at the time because it's like that's all I needed. But then the counseling stopped, and then I was just on my own, still in a good headspace. But now, fast forward, so I call the vet center, and they're like, we'll call you next week. We'll let you know. We got to have our director assign you a counselor. I'm like, okay, not a problem. Well, they wrote my number down wrong. So the number that they called said this number's disconnected. Well, on Monday, after I had my breakdown, I called them back and I'm like, hey, I really need to talk to somebody. I don't know, I was supposed to be called last week. They're like, oh, we called the wrong number, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, well, I need to talk to my counselor. So can we make that happen? They're like, all right, we're gonna leave a message for your counselor. She'll call you back. She calls back, and basically just to, schedule at that point. But I'm like, I need to talk to somebody right now. This is what's going on. Very suicidal. And we need to figure something out now. So I stayed on the phone with the counselor for a while until we could come up with a plan. She wanted to make sure I was good until she got off the phone. So she kept me on the phone, and we came up with the plan of, hey, we moved some stuff around. Can you come in tomorrow? Which was Tuesday. So we scheduled that. And that was a big difference. Just knowing that, hey, I am going to actually be able to talk to somebody, sit down with somebody face to face, but at the same time, it didn't really fix the situation yet. So I knew what I had to do, and it was a hard decision. Being with this mental state of mind, it's hard enough to just take care of myself, let alone other people. So as you know, Grandma moved in with us and I'm her caregiver. With this state of mind, I cannot be. So, and I cannot ask Cambriea to do it because Cambriea is going to need to help take care of me at this point. She's been through it before. She knows what it entails. It's a lot. It's a lot. Keeping an eye on me, making sure I don't do anything stupid, just watching my actions to know where my mental state is. So yeah, being a caregiver just isn't one of those things. When you're fighting suicide, you're selfish. You're very selfish. Your thought is, you have one voice in your head saying, this could all be over. You don't need to deal with this. It's so painful. Just end it. And I got another side saying, don't do it. We can fix this. You can get through this, but you got to be selfish. You gotta take care of yourself, and that's the only priority. So, knowing this, we're putting a lot on Cambriea, because yeah, I can help take care of the kids, but at the same time, it's a lot more difficult, and little things can set, I'm very easily irritated and irritable. Not getting any sleep, that doesn't help. My sleep schedule and everything is out the window. I'm not getting any sleep. I can't fall asleep, and normally I stay up later. Cambriea goes to bed early. I stay up later, take care of Freya, whatever, because she gets up in the middle of the night. no, I'm finding myself extremely tired. Part of that is just my mind's like in overdrive, and it's just wears your body out. Also, the medication that I'm on for the mental health meds, and they make you drowsy, they make you tired. So like now I'm finding myself just falling asleep. I got no motivation to do anything. And for all of you that have watched our videos, you know that I can't sit still. I'm always busy. Part of that is how I cope with this problem. Staying busy is how I don't think about negative things, because I'm constantly doing something. And when you take away me doing all that stuff, now it's just all those bad thoughts in my head. So it's been a rough couple days. I've gotten very little done. I don't want to record any videos. I don't want to do anything. So Cambrea's been giving me little assignments here and there, nothing too stressful. Stuff that she knows I can handle. But like right now, if she asks me to do a big project, it ain't happening. It's just not happening. So, little projects here and there, fine. But my motivation is just at an all-time low. I don't want to do anything. I just want to sleep. So yeah, been going to bed early, waking up in the middle of the night, being up for a while. And obviously she has to be worried about this, so she's not getting any sleep. Needless to say, on Monday, when we were in bed, she made sure she had a hand on me the whole time to make sure I didn't get up and leave and go do something hurtful to myself. So it ain't helping her either. It's very rough. It's very rough. It's needless to say, being a caregiver is just not in the cards right now. So with like, it breaks my heart, but grandma has to move out. She's gonna go back to Wisconsin. So my dad's gonna take care of her. This whole thing, the whole, it's like, yeah, grandma sold her house. She got rid of, a lot of her stuff. Good thing is my dad took a lot of that stuff, so he has a lot of her stuff. So she didn't lose everything. And she has what she needs to live, and then she's got some. She still has her furniture. My dad kept her couch, her whole bedroom set, everything. So she has stuff in Wisconsin. Part of the reason is a good thing that we didn't get rid of her kitchen table and her chairs. So actually, I'm glad we didn't get rid of them. Because yeah, it broke my heart to tell grandma that she ain't gonna be able to stay here. If it was a little bit different of setup, maybe we could make it work. But it's still a lot of stress on me and a lot of stress on Cambriea just dealing with this. So the best course of action is grandma going back to Wisconsin. So she'll be with us for a little bit longer until all the arrangements can be made, and then she's gonna go. Because we need to just focus on me and our intermediate family here, the kids, the animals, all that stuff. So taking on a whole nother person and their whole life, their animals, is just, it's not good right now. And I don't know if it'll ever be good, because that's the problem when you have PTSD and all these issues, is they can come back. It doesn't matter how much counseling you do, they can come back. It's just what's gonna set it off. So sadly, grandma will be going back. So my counselor suggested that I check into like an institution, because obviously they're worried. But when I've looked into checking into like a facility like that, when I talked to the people at the facility and all that, what it sounded like to me is like deployment, but on a much worse scale. It's bad enough, it's hard enough being deployed, being away from family and everything, but then you put on even more of that. Like your freedom is next to nothing. Supervised phone calls, all that stuff, and that actually I think would make it worse. My motivation to not want to kill myself is my family, being around my kids, seeing Freya, like just being around her is a huge help. Bailey and Minnie, and I mean, just being around the animals. There's just something about the wild, the nature that can really help your mental state of mind. Have to take care of them, so that's a task for me to do. So, like, just simple stuff: feeding the dogs, making sure they go outside to go potty, helping Freya, feeding Freya, things like that. Is just it can help so much just being around them. And I've been away so long because of the military, and I missed out on so much of my kids growing up already. I don't want to miss out on anything else. So that really wasn't an option for me. And like, it's weird how animals can tell something's wrong. So like Bailey has been like super like coming up to me and affectionate, and he's just like, reminding me like, hey, I'm here if you need me. Obviously the kids don't really understand, because it's a lot for a kid to understand. But I think an animal they can sense it. They can sense when something's wrong with you. So, yeah, I'm not checking in any facility. That's not happening. Will that make things at home harder? I think if I was away, it would make it harder. But also, just being home, it's hard. But, like I said, Cambriea has been through this before. She knows, and I'm not going to fight her on anything. This is... Like, she's like, yeah, you need to talk to somebody, you need to talk to a counselor. I'm like, yeah, I know. I 100% agree. So I gotta meet with the counselor. We got my appointment scheduled out for the foreseeable future. Every week I see a counselor. So we'll see how things go. I mean, I'm optimistic. My biggest thing that was causing a lot of stress and pressure was, how am I going to take care of Grandma and make sure she has the best care that she deserves? And it was stressing me out. It was stressing me out to no end. On Monday when I called my dad, and I'm like, hey, I really need you to help me. I need you start making arrangements to have Grandma come home. My dad didn't really understand until I told him, like, it's either Grandma goes, because I need to be able to focus on myself. My dad, I don't think he really understood. Didn't really get the whole mental portion, even though he's known about it, but I don't know how much he really knows. So trying to explain it to him, it was hard. And eventually it was just like, I didn't know how to explain it, so I just started yelling at him over the phone. And I feel bad about it, and it just wasn't easy. But he gets it now. I think my dad's view on mental health was kind of the military's old view of, drink water, drive on. Bailey, I'm right here. Okay. Silly boy. Drink water, drive on. Throw dirt on it, march on. Because, like my dad, he's more like, raised you as warriors, me and my brothers. Anybody can shoot a gun and, shoot somebody from a distance, but the real warrior is one that can fight face to face, hand to hand. So, like, my upbringing was, I did ninjutsu for a bit, and then I wrestled from middle school through high school. So very, like hand-to-hand stuff. Played football, ran track, all the stuff that you normally would do. Yeah. And now that it's more common to hear about mental health issues, even the military is, recognizing it. It took a long time. It took a really long time, but they're trying. And towards the end of my career, it was really, they were pushing it, and I really didn't understand it until it got really bad. And then I'm like, okay, I need to talk to somebody. I need help. It's not easy to ask for help. It's really not. You have to be in a really bad place to ask for help. And I was, and I am again. Sadly, I am again. So, get off the phone with my dad. He finally understands. He said he'll make arrangements, and then, I felt a little better, because at least now I know that that somebody's gonna be taking care of Grandma. So the next hurdle was telling Grandma, and that was not easy. Explained it to Grandma, started crying, she started crying, and she's like, you know what, it's fine, if I gotta go back to Wisconsin, don't worry, I just need you to take care of yourself. So, even though it's not easy, at least Grandma understood, and she knows she's gonna be taken care of. So we'll see. Hopefully, I really hope that she's happy with where she's gonna be, and that there is no resentment or ill blood or whatever you want to call it. That was one of my fears. Like, it was eating me alive. Like, oh my God, I brought Grandma down here, and now it's like everything that I tried to do is undone. Like, I felt like a failure, and it was eating me alive. My counselor's like, it's not your fault. It's not your fault. But for somebody to say it's not your fault doesn't fix it. Like, it's still in my head, like, you still failed. I don't like failing. I don't know about you, but I don't like failing. It's not what I was trained to do. Trained to win. Trained to figure things out. But when you're up against an enemy inside your head, it's really hard to win. It takes a lot. it takes a lot. You gotta, it's a team effort. So between me and Cambriea and my counselors, we should win. I mean, we've done it before, but yeah, I still feel like I failed. And I was really worried. I was worried that my family would be mad at me. You know, made grandma, you know, well, we didn't make her. She wanted to move down here. So I guess I gotta tell myself that. She wanted to move down here. She wanted to live with us. Yeah, she sold her house, so she can't go back to her house. But realistically, she shouldn't live by herself. She's mentally all there, sharp as a whip. She knows where she's at. She knows what's going on. However, you got to make sure she's okay. And her biggest thing is mobility and falling, and just making sure there's somebody around to make sure she's okay. Can she live on her own? To an extent. Can she handle her own money? Yeah, absolutely. She still can do all that stuff. However, it seems like when her communication is not as good as it used to be. So that's where you have to have somebody else. That's where the caregiver part is like, hey, somebody else to talk and fully explain what you want. So dealing with, you know, the healthcare system and all that, like we had to change healthcare plans because Wisconsin versus Florida is different. Like you're in another state, so there's different things you're entitled to depending on what state you're in. I don't know why it's just not universal, but it's not. So like me getting added to speak for her, you know, she had to obviously give consent, and then we had to go and over all the stuff, you know, over the phone. I mean, I was on the phone with the healthcare system for over an hour, you know, just trying to deal with stuff. That's what needs to get fixed, is the healthcare system. That's for sure. It should just be, hey, you're retired. This is what you're entitled to, and just be done. But yeah, it's a lot. Mentally it's draining. So that's going to be on my dad now. I mean, he was doing it before, so it's not like he doesn't know how to do it. What you can do when you're in the situation I'm in is there's people out there that can help. There's different 24/7 phone numbers you can call, crisis hotline. If you're a veteran, obviously you have access to the vet center, the VA. There's many different things you can do, and I highly suggest take advantage of that. Because if you don't, and you keep it bottled up inside, basically like I did the past, 2 months, like it slowly was just building, and eventually it's gonna surface. And the outcome could be very, very bad. Like you could kill yourself, or you could just have a really bad day and just realize, like, I need help. I really need help. So there are different things. Vet center, VA, crisis hotlines. Utilize those tools. Also, having a family support system is huge. Having your spouse be aware of your health, your mental health. Just them being able to provide support. That's the biggest thing that can help you get through anything, is communication and support. So yeah, I gotta rely heavily on Cambriea. That's your support system. Contacting, other family, asking for help, like me calling my dad saying, hey, I need your help. There's always stuff you can do to make a situation better. Don't always have to listen to the one voice saying, let's just end it. So I am thankful that I am able to ask for help and rely on other people giving support, because that's really what it is. If I wouldn't have those things, then this could have went a totally another way on Monday. Could have came to be a very bad outcome. So thank goodness I utilized the tools that I knew were available, and I'm getting help. So if you don't see me doing videos or things of that nature, that's why. Is I need to be in the right headspace to be able to even make videos and enjoy doing it. And right now I'm not. So I'm hoping doing this counseling and trying to work through my issues, that I'll be able to get back to that headspace and timing and have fun again. But like right now, it's just really hard. It's really hard. Just trying to motivate. That's why Cambriea gave me those little tasks to do, helps at least do something. But the last time all this happened, this affected my life in so many different ways. Almost lost my job. Thank goodness that I made them aware ahead of time that, hey, I have something going on. Here's my counselor's information. Obviously, they can't tell you specifics, but I am working through it. So any leeway you can give me is helpful. Remember, you can do that. Your work doesn't have to know details, but them just knowing that you are working through some stuff, that can mean the difference between getting fired and keeping your job. So, because losing your job on top of what you're already going through, I mean, it's just another thing that you can throw on the fire and make it worse. So, but yeah, just use the tools that are available, and that's how you get through it. So that's how I'm gonna get through it. It's just, it takes time. It's not a quick fix. Don't expect it to be a quick fix. You gotta work through it. So make sure you do.
Well, I want to thank you guys for watching today's video. I understand that this video is definitely not our normal content on this channel. However, I also know you guys know that mental health and mental health awareness is very, very important to Bobby and myself. And as uncomfortable talking about this can be, we also think it is very important to spread awareness on this situation, especially in our country. It's one of something that still, as much as it's come to light, is still not talked about enough, and is still one of those things of you're kind of looked down on if you do talk about it, or if you're going through it or anything like that. So we figured we like to be able to be open and honest, and if this helps just one person to reach out for help, or who's struggling to see that they are not alone, it's all worth it. But once again, a big, big thank you from Bobby and I, and we will see you next time. Bye.